stand back!
Call her a sausage.
Why are you attacking man for?
Listen, he's doing his job, don't be an idiot.
You can't do nothing.
Oh, look at that arrested.
Picture this. You're on vacation in London, you've got your camera out, and there he is. A guy in a giant furry black hat, standing stock still outside Buckingham Palace like a human statue. So naturally, you do what half the tourists on Earth have done before you. You get a little too close. Maybe you strike a goofy pose right next to him. Maybe you even reach out and touch his rifle. Big mistake, because that soldier isn't just there for the postcard photos. He's part of one of the most elite, most disciplined, and honestly one of the most dangerous units you can stumble into by accident. The King's Guard. These are real, fully trained combat soldiers of the British Army, armed with actual rifles, operating under actual rules of engagement. And every single year, somebody learns the hard way that cute photo op and Royal Military Sentry do not mix. So what exactly is the King's Guard? Why do they dress like that? Can they really hurt you? And what happens when someone pushes their luck? Let's get into it. The King's Guard isn't some tourist attraction dreamed up by a marketing team. It's a genuine military posting that traces back centuries. It falls under the British Army's Household Division, the group of regiments whose entire job is protecting the monarch. Officially, the King's Guard refers to the soldiers posted at Buckingham Palace and St. James's Palace, while a separate mounted unit called the King's Life Guard watches over horse guards, the ceremonial gateway that's technically still the official entrance to both palaces. Here's the thing people don't realize. This isn't one static group of guys who never rotate. The duty gets passed around between 5 regiments of foot guards, the Grenadier Guards, Coldstream Guards, Scots Guards, Irish Guards, and Welsh Guards. If you know what to look for, you can actually tell them apart just by looking at their uniforms. The spacing of the buttons on their tunics and the color of the plume on their bearskin hats are basically a regiment signature. Grenadier Guards space their buttons evenly and wear a white plume. Coldstream Guards group theirs in pairs with a red plume. It's like a uniform code hiding in plain sight, and almost nobody in the crowd ever notices. And it's not just British regiments either. Over the years, everyone from Canadian regiments to the Royal Australian Regiment, the Jamaica Regiment, and even the Royal Malay Regiment have taken a turn mounting the King's Guard for special occasions. In 2024, a French military unit became the first ever guard from a country that isn't part of the Commonwealth to take up the post, marking over a century of friendship between Britain and France. So this simple guard duty is actually a rotating stage for international military relationships, which is a detail most tourists snapping selfies have absolutely no idea about. Let's address the elephant, or should we say bear, in the room. Why are these guys wearing what looks like a giant fuzzy trash can on their heads in the middle of summer? That's a bearskin cap. And yes, it's traditionally made from real bear fur, historically sourced from Canadian black bears. It stands over a foot tall and it's heavier than it looks. The story handed down for generations is that the tradition started after British forces helped defeat Napoleon's elite Imperial Guard, and the bearskin became a kind of trophy of that victory worn ever since as a badge of honor. Whether or not every detail of that legend is historically airtight, one thing is certain. These hats have become one of the most recognizable pieces of military headwear on the planet, and the guards wear them rain or shine, freezing cold or blistering heat without so much as adjusting them. Underneath all that fur is a soldier who is not allowed to react to you, not to your jokes, not to your dog off its leash, not to a busload of kids yelling at him. He's trained to stay completely neutral no matter what. And that discipline is exactly what makes people want to test him, which, as we're about to see, is a genuinely bad idea. Here's where things get real. The King's Guard is not cosplay. It is an active military post with a real operational purpose, protecting the sovereign and the palace grounds. These soldiers carry actual service rifles, and they are trained in a specific escalating protocol for dealing with anyone who gets too close or too disruptive. It goes like this. First, the sentry does something called stamping. He snaps to attention hard and sharp, making noise on purpose to signal you've crossed a line. At the same time, he'll shout a clear verbal warning, something like, "Stand back from the King's Guard." If you don't back off, he repeats the stamp and the shout. If you still don't get the message, he moves into what's called port arms, which basically means he swings his rifle up and points it directly at the source of the problem. That's not a bluff. That's an actual soldier telling you in the clearest possible language that you have officially become a security concern. And if that still doesn't work, he has two options. He can physically detain you himself, or he can hit an alarm button hidden in his sentry box that summons backup immediately. There have been real filmed incidents of tourists climbing the fence at Buckingham Palace only to find themselves staring down the barrel of a rifle aimed square at their chest. One of these videos, showing a guard leveling his rifle at someone trying to scale the palace fence, went viral and racked up millions of views because it's the kind of thing you assume only happens in movies until you realize this guy is completely serious. Even just walking too close while a sentry is marching triggers a warning. If you step into his path, he will shout, "Make way for the King's Guard!" And here's the part people forget. He is not going to walk around you. He keeps marching his exact route, exactly on schedule, because breaking that pattern isn't allowed. If you don't move, that's on you. Let's close out with a few facts that sound made up, but are completely real. Believe it or not, the foot guards used to guard way more than just palaces. After a violent mob attacked the Bank of England during the Gordon riots back in 1780, the army started sending a nightly detachment of guardsmen to protect the bank itself, complete with their own tiny perks. The officer in charge got half a bottle of port and an invite to dinner inside the bank, while the regular soldiers got a pint of beer and a shiny new shilling to spend on tea and cake. That arrangement, unbelievably, lasted all the way until 1973. And then there's the sheer scale of the changing of the guard ceremony itself. It's not just two guys swapping places. It involves a full military band of over 30 musicians, two entire detachments marching from Wellington Barracks, a ceremonial handover where the outgoing and incoming captains symbolically exchange the palace keys, and choreography so precise it's been performed the same way, give or take small changes, for generations. So next time you're standing outside Buckingham Palace, camera in hand, remember what you're actually looking at. That's not a costume performer paid to stand still for tourists. That's a fully trained soldier of the British Army, operating under real rules, backed by real history, and completely capable of ending your fun vacation photo the second you cross the line. What do you think? Is the King's Guard the most disciplined military unit on Earth? Or have you got a story of your own from a run-in with one? Drop it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed learning about the guys guarding one of the most famous palaces in the world, make sure to subscribe, because we've got a lot more stories like this coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.